Howdy, folks! Or is it ho ho howdy, folks? It's that time of year where I get, I'm a kid at heart. Even though I'm up in my mid-50s, when it comes around the holiday season and Christmas, I get excited because not only is it a time that I can buy goodies for friends, I can also ask the wife for new goodies for TJ. Or just you want to have extras because you always have that friend that you got something cool and they come over and they always borrow it and you never get it back. Or you're out fishing and they go, what do you got there? And then you don't have anything to fish with because you're always lending out your... So what are we going to do today? We're going to be chatting about another Tenkara USA rod that's near and dear to me, and that is the Tenkara USA Ito. Now you can see, I don't know if this can get this whole thing in the picture. This is one of our larger rods. It is a little bit longer than all the rest, and therefore the cases that they come in are a little bit larger, and it's called the Ito. And I can remember when it first came out, it was pretty special, and I'd have to go back and look. Is it 9 years ago, 10 years ago? I did make a video for it. So at the time, when Ito came out, I made a little burlesque kind of video that had a music playing in the background, and you could type in burlesque to see what that means. And I kind of showed off the Ito in my excitement. And it was a new rod, very long, something that I had only owned an Awana, I think, to date, and I wanted a big long rod for some ponds that I fish out here, and the Ito was it. And so over the years, the Ito has made some changes, little bits of changes, nothing drastic, and I thought I would kind of do a little bit of a history lesson on the Ito. So let's first by opening the original Ito. So now you're probably saying, okay, well, you've got this gray case that says Tenkara USA on it, right? And then you have this old green case that says Tenkara USA on it. Well, our original rods came in these green cases. What was kind of cool about the old cases is there was a screw cap on each side, which I do like because sometimes if something's jammed down in there, like you put your sock back in there, it's a little easier to get out if you can open up each side. But at the same time, I call it the Luke Skywalker. We tell people, don't open a Tenkara rod like Luke Skywalker because everything comes flying out. But if you stick your sock down there and go like this, it will flick out. But yeah, kids, don't do the Luke Skywalker. As many trade shows as I've done, there's always that person that's, oh yeah, I did this and everything comes flying out. No, you don't do that. Do you do that with other telescopic devices? No. You gotta open them up segment at a time. So let's talk about the Ito. Long rod, dual length. It was our first zoom rod that we created that did more than just opening up fully to the length that you had. In the case of the Tenkara USA Ito, it was a 13-footer and a 14.5-footer. Back then, it came in this nice little suede-y, felty type of case, hand-stitched on there, Tenkara USA Streamlined Fly Fishing. This dates us back. Streamlined Fly Fishing. Hopefully you're kind of picking that up. So back in the day, this was kind of a premium nice little sock. You know now that all of our socks come in something a little different, but I enjoyed the colors. I enjoyed the green Tenkara USA on there. So let's pop it open. So like all the others, there's a little Velcro, and out comes this long rod. Now with Tenkara, the saying goes, the longer the better, as long as your application, can use that length. So basically, always the longer the better. If you've got plenty of open a room around you, a longer rod's going to be great. More reach, more leverage, you name it. If it's a really tight spot, then yes, a shorter rod's going to be of value, but the longer the better. You can keep the line off the water at a greater distance. And the Ito is one long rod. So closed, it's about 26, 27 inches. I'd have to get my tape measure out. I think it's about 27 off the top of my head, 26. And what was unique about it is that it did have a different contoured handle. It had gold writing Tenkara USA on it. I don't know if this is going to be picking this up or not, but, you can believe me. I'm not going to lie to you. And it's got kind of I'm a little colorblind, but it looks a little bluish, little purplish gold writing. It's probably considered blue and black, and a nice more premium cork handle, a long one with various grooves on it for, you don't have to hold a Tenkara rod right in the middle. You can hold it up here. You can hold it on the back. So if you have proper contours to hold, everybody's hand's different. I've got fairly small hands. Don't tell anybody that. TJ doesn't have small hands. I've got a normal size hand. A normal size hand, yeah. So you can hold it in all these different kind of contours, right? So, Ito had a really nice handle set up on it. Gold writing, Tenkara USA, 13 foot, 14 foot, 7 inch technically, but I call it 14 and a half foot. It's all in that general area. Had a nice little Tay logo on it. So all of our older rods had that typical gold writing and Tenkara USA. And you can kind of see it looks a little bit different. This is a longer rod. Our original one didn't have Lillian on the plug. It was just a plug that plugged in the end. So there's been, over the years since we've made this so long, the original one had just a regular plug on the end, and that was it. No Lillian on it. As time went on, we started putting Lillian string on some of our plugs of different models, not all of them, because it would be a great lanyard to kind of click it and hold it someplace. This is Lillian material, so it also made a great emergency repair kit. So if you ever compromised your tip and broke it at the very end, or your Lillian started ripping, you could, if in an emergency, connect this Lillian to the tip and be able to fish for the rest of the day. So that's why we started putting Lillian on it. But the original ones didn't have that Lillian string on it. This one that I have does. So that's that. And there's the Tenkara USA Ito. So I'm not going to be able to open this up in this room. This room's only, I think, 17 long. But needless to say, you start opening the tip. And I always like to do this with videos. It really screws things up a little bit. But you open up the Ito and, I'm going to hit the wall. Yeah. I'm not even, maybe, yeah, I'm in the very corner of the room. Yeah, I can't even open it in this room. So let's close it down. What's cool about a zoom rod is you can open it up in multiple lengths, right? Ito was a 13-footer, and here's where that zoom section is. So holding the rod parallel so stuff doesn't flip around in there. This segment is a 13-foot segment, and by opening it or closing it, you could fish it at the shorter if you don't open it, or 14 and a half foot when you opened it. So very cool feature. That was the first zoom rod that we offered. As time went on, the Ito, we decided to stiffen up just a little bit. So the original Ito is a little bit softer rod. We no longer use that old antiquated 5.5, 4.4, or I should say 6.4 rating, 7.3. It's kind of antiquated and it wasn't really accurate, but I consider this a soft flex rod. Even though we put the number 6.4 on it, it was on the softer side. So I always, generically, I think I posted in the old Tenkara USA forums, it was a 5.5 by 5 or whatever instead of a 6.4. It was a little on the softer side. So over time, when we started tweaking and adjusting things, we did adjust it a little bit and stiffened it up just a little bit as time went on. So let's break out. Let me put this Ito in here so it doesn't fly all over the place. Time went on. Cases updated, and now we have all of our rods in this slick gray case. Tenkara USA, it's got Jeremy Shellhorn's wonderful line art on here, and it's got one screw cap on the top. And what's cool, you didn't see that on these little screw, well, here it is. It's just black, right? Green case, just a little black screw cap. On the end of this one, can I have it in the right orientation? I don't know if it's going to show it, but it says Ito. Ito, so it tells you the name of the rod, because when you collect 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of these rods, it's nice to be able to just stick them in someplace and go, that's the Ito, that's this, that's that. So we put the names of the rods on the screw cap, nice little added touch. And then let's pooper it out, put the case over here. So we changed, all of our rods have this wonderful stretchy sock, says Tenkara USA on it. And like I don't know if you're a friend of mine on Facebook, and you're always welcome to, it makes for a great bandana. So you can tie it around your head when you're getting a little hot out there fishing all day, soak a little bit in water and put it on your head. Now, if you don't want to ruin your sock, you don't want to soak it in water. But I know the guy that can get me a replacement sock if I need to. So I'm all right with it. So, nice stretchy sock. I heard those guys over at Tenkara USA are pretty friendly. This guy named John Gear, he's a pretty friendly chap. All right, Tenkara USA. So the design of the color of the rod changed. It's the same rod in general, stiffened up a little bit over time. We kind of design changed colors, all of our rods a number of years ago. Off the top of my head, about 3 or 4 years ago. So they all had a kind of a new uniform, fresh appearance. But they were still mostly the same rods. So the Ito changed colors a little bit. It's more of a black color, but there is a hint of blue here where it says Ito. I don't know if that's picking it up. I got the itchy nose. Allergy season. Ends of the plug have Lillian. But we did add a new feature. So as Ito and we started progressing, our Satos and Rotos had the keep your plug system in it. What's that mean? Well, this is the extra one. I'm going to go ahead and pull it out. Oh, there's a little hole on the back of that screw cap. Am I holding it the right? Yep. And that's where your plug is. So you unplug it off the top, push it in the back, so you can fish all day and not lose your plug. Because a common thing with Tenkara, where did I put the rod plug? Oh, I lost my rod plug. There's a whole video about 4 minutes of what did I do with my rod plug. So we designed this. Only company I know of doing it. In fact, I think it's trademarked. Keep your plug so you don't lose it. So very neat little feature. We send our rods with 2 of them so you can stick one in your glove box, because no matter what, even if you put it back here, you're going to eventually lose it. Because just nature of these plugs, you're going to lose a plug. So nice little new feature. Keep your plug system. Handle is basically the same. I've got the original plastic still on this one, so it may look a little shiny and clear. Nice premium cork, but the same shape. And there's the Ito. And I better put the plug back on here before I do the Luke Skywalker and everything flies out on you. So that's the biggest change that we made, the keep your plug system. Stiffen it up slightly. It's still a fairly soft rod compared to our other models. So I would still, if you use the old antiquated numbering system, a 6.4 rod, still a mid-flex rod. And why would I choose an Ito? Pond fishing, where you've got plenty of open room around you. Big river, medium river fishing, plenty of open room around you. The longer the better. More reach, keep the line off the water. Always great for presentation of a drag-free drift, right? So Ito, ponds, lakes, kayaking. In fact, when I go kayaking, I got a lot of room around me and I want some maximum reach so I don't spook the fish with my kayak going over the top of them. Ito's awesome. Big fish rods. So we've got 2 what we consider big fish rods, the Imago and the Ito. This one is longer than the Imago by about 1 foot when you fully open it up. Wonderful leverage. We have videos where people have caught carp. There is one gentleman that caught, I forget if it was a 32-inch, 30-inch pike. Now, the rod's not designed for that, folks. It's designed for trout around 20 inches, give or take. But over the years, people have stretched the limits of these rods and have caught all sorts of big fish on it. Just know that we've got a lifetime warranty. That's the cool thing about us. We're in the United States. We have all the parts typically readily available. So if you break a tip, you break something, you call us up. We've got a lifetime warranty. We just charge shipping and handling. Mail you the part that you broke, and you can fix your rod. You can fix your rod. You don't have to send it in and $50 on all this other jazz. Just call us up and we can send you the component to fix it. Because on the back of every Tenkara rod is a screw cap. And all the segments come sliding out the back so you can maintain and clean the rod. Good thing to do. You don't want to store a rod wet and dirty and nasty. You want to get it clean. And then, or replace parts that you may have compromised. You know, the good old thing, my dog chewed on the rod. Varmints chewed on the rod. If it's John Gear, it's always a marmot of some kind. A varmint, some type of creature, badgers and gophers. Yeah, we have interesting stories in customer service of what happens to Tenkara rods. I left it on top of my car and drove away. I stuck it in a door. Stuff happens. We've got a warranty for that. We're very generous here at Tenkara USA in terms of getting folks back on the water. So if you compromise your rod, let us know. And even if I was going after a 10-foot carp. Well, not 10 foot. How about a 10-pound carp? 10-foot carp. Holy Moses, that would be huge. It's like a whale. So, Ito. Wonderful rod. It is Christmas time, holiday season, whatever you typically celebrate. Ito's fun, whether you're buying it for somebody, wanting it. You know, my wife, I give her a few hints. TJ wants a new rod. I need another Ito because I typically have to lend these out quite often, and I'm missing, and you know, it's always nice to have a duplicate. So anyway, that's the Ito. Hopefully this little jaunt down history. Again, around 9-10 years ago, we came out with the Ito fairly early on. I think it's about 9 years. I have to go back and look at the old video I did on the Ito when it first came out. So, older rod of ours that we have slightly updated along the years, but in general, it's pretty much the same rod. So if you have an older one and a newer one, they're very similar. And mostly the color has changed on it. And wonderful rod for big rivers, medium rivers, ponds, lakes, kayak fishing, you name it. If you've got nice room around you, fish the Ito. It is wonderful. So, will it fit in a stocking for Christmas? Well, yeah, but it's going to stick out a little bit, which is fine. The person getting it's going to be still very happy with it. But if you need a rod that's going to stay in the stocking and be hidden a little bit, remember, folks, there's always the Hane. Look at it. Let's just compare the two side by side. Well, yeah, look at that. The case is a little smaller. So, on the opposite spectrum, the Hane is a wonderful stocking stuffer. So, hopefully you enjoyed this video. The Ito is a wonderful present for that loved one, friend, or a gift from me to me. I always enjoy that. I like giving myself gifts. So, have a wonderful holiday season, folks. Enjoy our rods and the Ito. Check it out. Thanks for watching the video. Have a wonderful holiday season.